So hello animators, today we will be making a progressive run cycle, and with that we will be also looking at the things you need to do in your animation so that your progressive run cycle or walk cycle can work properly. So I have this two legs rig open up. I will quickly make a very rough walk cycle, and then we will try to make that walk cycle progressive. So before I make that walk cycle, I had to tell you guys that there are a few things you need to consider while making a progressive walk cycle, so that your progressive walk cycle can look better. So I won't waste any more time. I will just start making a uh, very rough walk cycle. So I will quickly make a first pose. I will just move it down, and there won't be any body mechanics or anything in this walk cycle. This is just to explain you guys how to make a walk cycle progressive, and I have to say that this is my way of working. There might be many different other ways, but I think for me this way is working. This is a easy way. Is and is work is helping me in every situation I need it. So uh, so I made this uh, first pose. My cycle will be 24 frames, and I will just select everything, and I will key on frame number 1. I will go to frame number 24, maybe let's say 25, because this is 1. I will keep it even or odd. I will key again, so this is our first and last pose. Now I will go to frame number 13, and I will just reverse this pose. So here I can say that this is 1.63. I will just copy this, and I will just go to this. I will just go select this feet, and I will paste the same value. And now I will go back on frame 1, and I will copy this value on this frame on the right feet, and I will press Ctrl C, and I will go to this feet. Oh, I'm really sorry, and I will paste this value there. So oh man, what did I do? Okay, sorry, we have to paste it on frame number 13. So yeah, so now we have this very stupid walk cycle. I will do one more thing. I will raise the feet when it's going forward. So let's say right now this feet is going forward. I will just move it up. First I will key on frame number 13. I will just move it up so that it goes up and go forward. And now I will select this foot, and when this foot is going forward, I will just move it up. And maybe I'll just add a little bit of up and down on this body. Okay, I will just key on frame 13 first. So here I will move it up, and when oh okay, I forgot to key on frame number 13 on the leg. So it will go up on frame number 6, and maybe on frame number 7, and again it will go up on frame number 19. So we have this very rough walk cycle. I just made it in less than 1 minute, and we will try to make this cycle progressive. So as I just said, that there are a few things you need to consider in making a cycle. So right now I will explain you guys that. I will just open up my graph editor on side, animation graph editor. So here I will select both of the feet. So the things I'm trying to show you guys is only translate Z, because when we are making a cycle progressive, we are only dealing with the forward motions, we are trying to make the Z, as you can see right now, the Z is cycling. What we do, we try to make we try to stop the cycling, and we try to keep the Z going up. We want the Z to keep going up so that the character can keep moving forward. So the first thing I have to say is, as these both of the feet are going forward, as these feet are helping the character to move forward, the the length or the value of both of the feet should be traveling the same distance. For example, right now, the minimum value of our this graph is 0.971, and the minimum value of this graph also is 0.971, minus 0.971. This means that our feet is starting from the same value, and even the last value is 1.6063, and even on this curve is 1.063. So it's starting on the same value and is ending on the same value. So this proves us our feet are traveling the similar distance. So let's say if one of your feet is traveling less, so right now let's say this is how your walk cycle looks. So when you will make this cycle progressive, your one feet will keep sliding because both feet are not traveling the same distance. So this will cause problem. So whatever kind of cycle or run cycle you make, you have to make sure both these feet are traveling the same distance. So which means both of them should be having the same last and same lower and upper value. So the second thing you have to consider in making walk cycle is when your feet is on ground. When your feet is on ground, your graph should be linear. Why is that? We will look at it in a second. So right now what I will do is I will select just this right feet, and I will just select all the keys on the curve, and I will select the front side of the keys, and I will make this part of the curve linear. So right now there is no curve, like as right now we are seeing a curve here. There is no such curve here. It's completely straight. So and we have to make sure when this feet is on ground, only then this should be straight. On other places, like let's say if this feet is on ground, this curve can look whatever. It depends on what kind of animation you are making, but when it's on ground, it need to be completely straight. I'll just briefly explain the reason. The reason is, when your feet is on ground, in my what I will try to do, I will try to move the global controller forward, and then I will try to bake the feet on the ground. So the global controller will be moving forward in a linear motion. So when the global controller is moving in a linear motion, when the feet are on ground, even they should be linear so that they can match with the ground. So now I will select my other feet, and I will do the same thing with that also. So this feet is on ground from frame 1 to 13. So I will select this curve, and I will select the front side of all the keys, and I will make it completely straight. Okay, so now as you guys can see that both Z curves, when the feet are on ground, both of them are linear. So these are the main two things you need to consider when making a walk cycle or run cycle, that when your feet are on ground, the Z curve should be linear, and both feet should be traveling the similar distance. So now we can go ahead and we can try to make the walk cycle progressive. Okay, you guys will say, even I can do that. I can just select the global controller and move it forward. What's the big deal in that? this is not a big deal to learn, but that's not what I'm going to do. I I am just moving the global controller right now, but after I'm done moving, I will do something else, and I will bring the global controller back to the 0, and our you will see our character is still moving forward. So I will select the global controller, and I will go to frame number 1, and what I am gonna do is I will turn on this function. It's called field chart. I will turn it on, and I will place the last part of our this part of the feet exactly in the 0 in the center of the screen. And then I will as right now my global controller is selected, I'll delete all other keys, and I'll keep the key on the frame 1, and I'll move just one frame, and now we see that our the last side of the feet is not on 0 anymore. So I will just move our feet, our global controller forward, so that our feet is on the same place again. So that's it. And now as we can see, the feet is not, I'm trying to move one frame front and back, so our feet is sliding a little bit, so we'll go to frame 2 again, and we'll move it a little bit back. And yeah, I think this is working, just a little bit more sliding. Okay, so yeah, so right now our feet is intact on the ground in these 2 frames. So we will just select these 2 frames here on the graph editor, and we will make it linear. For linear, I'll just press the spline tangent, and as there are only 2 keys, so it will be completely straight. And now I will go to curves, post infinity, and cycle with offset, and I will go to view and turn on infinity. Now we are saying that this curve is keep going up. And now I will also remove this field chart, and now we will see that our character is moving forward. I will select other curves as well, and except the global, and I will make them curves pre-infinity cycle and curves post-infinity cycle. So, and now I will try to increase the frame range of my timeline. I will make it till 100. Okay, so now as you guys can see, the character is moving constantly in the space. And so this is a very simple method. Now what we'll try to do, we will try to keep the same feet animation, but I don't want the global controller to move in the space. I want the global controller to stay here, but the character to keep moving in the space. So what I will do in this case, I will make 3 locators. I will go to create locator. I'll open up my outliner, Windows outliner, and I have my locator 1. I will just press Control D, and I will make 2 more locators, and I will just rename them foot R, foot L, and the third one will be for body. Okay, so now what I will do, I will just first I will select my foot R. Now again, I don't need the 100 frames, I only need 25 frames. And then I will select the foot I will select the foot R locator, and I will go to animation, and I will constrain this locator to the feet. I will go to constraint, parent constraint, I will go to the box. I will turn off maintain offset. The maintain offset might be turned on in your settings, and I will turn it off. I will just go to edit and reset, and now I will turn off the maintain offset and I will edit. So as soon as I will do this, you will see the locator is snapped to the foot. I will show and turn on the locator so that we can see. As you can see here, the locator is snapped on the foot. We will do the same thing to the left foot also. I will select the left foot, then I will control and select the left foot locator, and then I will go to constraint, parent constraint. I will double check the maintain offset is turned off, everything is same, and I will click on add. Now our another locator also snapped on the feet. So now again we'll do the same thing to the body. We'll select the body and control, we'll hold control and click on the body locator, and we will again go to constraint and we'll do the parent constraint the same way. So now these locators are following my body and feet. So now what we need to do is we just need to select these three locators. We will go to edit, keys, and bake simulation. I will just click on edit and reset all the settings, and now we will see what changes we need to make here. We only need to bake the translations and rotations, so I will select these translation and rotations here. I will click on from channel box. In this way the Maya will know that the Maya only need to bake these selected channels, and I will keep the time slider because I only need to bake from frame 1 to 25, and I will click on bake. So what just happened is Maya just baked the locators as in a progressive way. So now what we can do, we can just go to frame number 1. First what we have to do is we just open up these locators. We will select the parent, these constraints, and we will just hit delete. We don't need those constraints anymore because our locators are moving the same way as our feet are and the body is moving. So now we will parent constraint again, but this time we will be reversing what we just did. So now our right foot will be following right foot will be following the right foot locator. So I will select the locator first, and then I will select the right foot. I'll go to constraint and parent, and again I don't, because right now my locator and my feet are at the same position on frame 1. I don't really need to I don't really need to I don't care whether this maintain offset is turned on or off, so we'll just make it on just for nothing. And I will do the same thing to this feet also and the body. I will select the foot left locator, and I will select the left foot, and I will again go to constraint, parent, and add. I will do the same thing with the body. I will select the body locator, and then I will select the body controller, and again I'll do the parent constraint. So I'm sure you guys know how to use parent constraint. That's why I am not you guys have to know that you have to select the parent first and the child second. That's how you connect the parent to constraint. So that's what I'm doing, the same thing I'm doing here. So now what I'm gonna do, I will select my foot. Okay, so now before I select that, I will just select the global controller, and I will delete these keys. I don't need them anymore, so they are gone. So now you can see that our global controller is not moving at all, but our character is moving forward. So I will just go ahead and I will select my foot, both of the feet and body, and I will go to again I will go to edit, keys, and bake simulation. So again the same settings. I will just I will select the channel, the channel which I want to bake, and then I'll just click on bake. Okay, so now I don't even need the locators anymore because I already baked the animation to the curve. So I can just go ahead and I can select these locators and I can hit delete. As soon as I'll delete the locators, I will also delete the connections which were made on the body and on the feet. So now we have a nice and clean progressive run cycle. And yeah, okay, so now I can just go to frame, I can make my frame range from frame 1 to 100, and what I will see is still not cycling. So I just have to make it very simple setting change. I have to just go to, I have to select the Z curves. I just have to go to curves, pre-infinity, and I'll just click on cycle with offset. I'll go to curves, post infinity, and cycle with offset. And in this way I set both of my locators to both of my foot and body to infinity so that they can keep walking. So this is a simple and easy way to make a walk cycle progressive. Okay, so now as we are done making a progressive walk cycle, what if I want my character to follow a curve? Let's say you want to make a make your character walking, but walking in a curve, not in a straight way. How can we make that using this cycle? How can we make a progressive walk cycle which is walking on a curve without sliding the feet? So I will just press Ctrl Z and I will go back to the same place where I connected my feet to the locators, and I will just keep pressing Ctrl Z. Yeah, so this is where I need to be. So right now the locators are connected to my feet. I don't really need to see them, I can just hide them. I'm back in the place where I connected the locators to the feet, but I haven't baked them yet. So I just, so again I am just at a place where my locators are connected to the animation is done, and the locators are connected to the both of the feet and the body, and I already moved the global controller forward so that the character keep moving forward. So now let's say I want this character to move in a curve. So what will I do? So I'm gonna just go ahead and I'll select the curve. I will just delete the keys on this. I will make a first I will make a plane, and now I will make a curve on this plane. I will just go to create curve tools and EP curve tool. I just like EP curve tool. Yes, and I will just turn on the snap to point, this magnet, the third magnet. I will just turn it on so that my points snap on the points on this plane. I will also turn on this this wireframe on shaded thingy, and now we will see the points on our plane. So I will just quickly make a curve on this on the points, and so this is a simple curve and on which our character is going to walk. So my curve is done, and I'll just hit enter, and now we will let our character walk on this curve. Okay, so I will just select the global controller, and okay, and then I will select the curve, Again, I'll go to constraint, I'll go to motion paths, and I'll click on attach to motion path, and Z should be front axis. Here I'm gonna just change few things. So the front axis should be Z, and up is Y, and I'm just going to attach. So right now you will see that our character is walking on the curve, but it is really fast. So how am I going to change the speed? So for changing the speed, I just need to select the global controller again, and on this controller we will see a curve here, and this is the speed of the motion path, how fast our character is going to travel on the motion path. Again, we need to see a linear motion here. We can see we can make a curve here depending on the situation. If your character is moving a little bit slower, you can make a little bit slower curve. You can edit this, but for now we will just keep it linear. But still we are seeing this our character is way more faster on this curve. And I will say, let's say that I want my character to start from this position. So I'm just gonna move, I'm just gonna move the curve a little bit up. So from frame 1 my character will start here. So I just told this graph editor that on frame 1 the position of the character should be on this much value, and this value is exactly same as the length of the curve. And I will try to make the sliding thing stop. So I will just again I will turn on the field chart, and here we can see the feet. Maybe I'll just go here, and I will I'm sorry, I'll just turn off the ground plane. I'll put it into a layer, and I will just turn off the layer. And now I will place my feet on the field chart on the 0 so that I can see how fast it's going. And here it is. And now I will also select my global controller, and I will go just one frame forward, and you can see that our feet is traveling a lot. So I'm just going to select the last part of the curve, and I'm just going to move it back. Okay, so now okay, our foot is sliding a little bit, not a little bit, it's sliding a lot, and maybe I need to see somewhere else. I will just move it until our feet is not sliding anymore. Let's look at this foot. I think it will be better because this foot is on ground. So from frame 1 is here, and on frame 2 it should be a little bit back. Yep. Okay, so sliding a little bit, which is fine. Nobody noticed small slide, and it's still sliding. Now sliding backward, now it's sliding forward. Yep. Okay, so this is fine. I don't mind the small sliding happening here, because and the small sliding is happening because right now it's walking on the curve. And I will turn off the field chart. So now we will see that on these 100 frames our character is walking on a curve. So now again what we can do here, we can just stop here, and we will select the all three locators, and we will select all three locators, and we will bake them. I will go to edit, keys, bake simulation, and I will click on I'll keep everything same, and I'll click on bake. Oh sorry, I have to select the channels I want to bake. I'll go to edit, keys, bake simulation, and bake. And now again I will just remove the constraint from the locators, and I will just reverse the connections. I will make the locators parents. I'll select the foot R locator, and I will select foot R, and I will go to constraint and parent, and I'll keep the maintain offset, add. I'll do the same to foot left, constraint, parent, and the same thing to the body. I'll just do the same thing, parent. Now I can just go ahead and I can select the global controller, and I can just I think I can just delete the curve. I don't need it anymore. I can just select our global controller. I can move it on 0. I don't, because right now my feet and body are traveling with the locators. I will select them again. Okay, one more thing before selecting, I can just select the locators. I can select them one by one, and I will only see the Z and X. So as right now our character is moving on a curve, and our cycle was just in a way, we made the cycle in a way so that our character only moves forward. So you will see a sliding happening on the feet of the character because of the curve. So the easy way to fix it is you just select one foot locator, and you go on Z, and you see that right now Z is not moving in a here. The Z should be completely straight, but you are seeing a curve here, and this is the reason why our feet are sliding. So what we can do, we can just select these keys, we can delete, and we can just select the rest of the curve, and we can move it, we can make it straight, and now it will not move anymore. We have to do this to all the graphs. We have to do it to X and Z both, and I will delete this again, and I will just do this to 1 feet just to save the time, and I will show you guys that feet won't slide anymore. Our right foot will not slide anymore, and I'll quickly do the same thing to this part. This is a lengthy thing to do, and okay, now I will go to the X. I'll just make it quick. I will just delete all these, and now I will just make them straight one by one. I am doing this thing to the locators. We can do this the same thing to the feet as well after the feet are baked. So I will do this thing, and then I will bake the feet into the I will bake the feet so that the animation from locator can be transferred on feet. Yep, it's done. I will select all these 3 things. I don't have time to fix other feet also, but you will see the right foot is not sliding anymore because of the things which I just did. I will just go to I will select these translation and rotation, edit keys, and bake simulation. Now I can just go ahead and I can delete these locators. I don't need them anymore. And now you are seeing our character is walking on a curve. It's walking in a curve, it's not walking straight anymore, it's taking a turn. And you will see, because of the thing which we just did, our right foot is not sliding anymore. So this is all. I hope you guys find this video useful, and I hope you guys like the tricks which I use. I feel that these tricks helps me in any kind of situation. I can just make a quick run cycle or walk cycle, and I can make a curve, and I can let the guy run around, and then I can just add locators, and I can just bake the locators, and I can just change my global controller so that my global controller remains at the same place. And now I have option to work on each feet separately. And now my whole cycle is progressive, and it's progressive in a good way, it's progressive in an easy way. There's one negative thing in this, that you when you bake your animation, you get your timeline full of keys. That's the only negative thing, but with experience I learned to work with timeline full of keys. I don't get scared anymore when I see a timeline full of keys, because I only care about the curves. I don't care about the keys. Yeah, sometimes I have to delete some keys, but I only care about the curves, how curves looks, because curves are the main things which which show you how your animation is looking. So thank you very much guys, and let me know what you guys think about this video, and give it a like and share if you think somebody can use this video. So goodbye, it's Nav Animator, and I'll see you in the next video.